Where we last left off, you've been given a unique opportunity. Mistakes were made that cost you your lives, but somehow you've been brought back in time by either some sort of a spatial anomaly, perhaps someone out there is looking out for you, but nevertheless, make better choices. Find a way to stop the malice engine, to free the people who you know are suffering. Perhaps get the bleeding edge armor you were originally sent to get. You've managed to gain allies and information. Use that to the best of your abilities, and this time succeed. Because it is extremely unlikely that the events that allowed you to redo this day will ever happen again. So enjoy your one and only do-over. We are on the ship, because you guys were discussing what you were going to do. You brought Callisto on board your ship and you told her the plan, and rather than working the first day, you guys decided that you were going to stay aboard your ship and start the next day, if I remember right.
That is correct.
What are you guys going to do? Talk amongst yourselves, make a plan. Callisto has already been made aware that Dr. Lull is going to kill her and her sister, and so she's already starting to make plans against Dr. Lull.
I would just ask Lisa, what are you thinking in terms of plans? How do you want this to play out? So maybe we can make our plans mesh.
Let's see, was Callisto still there last time? I don't remember. I thought she'd left last time.
Did she leave or was she still there?
No, I thought she left and we were going to bed.
Yeah.
I thought she was still there. My bad.
What are you guys doing? You have this night to prepare, and then this would be the equivalent of the second day of your adventure from last time.
Right.
Because the first day you just stayed aboard your ship, whereas the last time you just went in and started working.
Because Callisto let Vicky tap into her comm thing from her wrist, which let Vicky into the system, right? From last time?
Yeah.
So we don't have to worry about that as much, but I'm going to turn to Zendarian and be like, well, the last time we decided to do this, we didn't do anything about the guards or learning anything about their guard duty or what they're guarding. I think we need to get on guard detail more so than lab detail.
Yeah, but some of us need to work in the lab to prevent suspicion.
So
Hopefully, Callisto can get a couple of us onto the guard detail, while the rest of us continue the research path. That'll give us better access into their systems, direct access.
Well, myself and Shanty can do research still.
So while we're having this conversation, I'm in the we have a med bay or like a science lab, right? I'm in there.
Yes.
And I'm augmenting my feet so that they can open up and like their little suction cupper thingies, and I can walk on the ceiling now.
You will be the queen of all sloths.
I really like sloths.
So with the upgrading, that's not actually going to happen here on the ship. What Callisto is going to do, as part of the trailer, is she's going to basically give you access to the armory and the things that are in there. And that's where you...
Yeah, calm down.
I was so excited to climb on the ceiling.
And the money that you get, it was just so you stay within the balance of what you're supposed to have for your level.
Okay. Well, I was very inspired by Rocket Raccoon. So... maybe I'm trying to do that and I keep falling or something. I don't know, since I don't have the money in the...
You're just trying to hodgepodge it together.
Yep.
Have you guys read the plan that I suggested?
Yeah, but my brain, again, is spaghetti.
We're going to let you run the plan, Brian, because some of us have fried brains.
You are boss!
Looking specifically for if anybody had any objections to any part of that plan.
No, I think it's great.
The phase 2 at the end is what I had a question on, but...
I think it's a beautiful plan, the parts that I can remember reading.
Well, we can go back over it. I just wasn't sure if I needed to go through it word for word or just paraphrase.
But definitely let's the phase 1, so that way our group will have to separate a little bit in the groups, like you were saying.
Some of us are going to end up on security. Some of us will end up doing in the research side of things. The folks on security, our job is to basically get tabs on the leader as well as the security guard, where all the guards are, how they work,
Yes.
Their patterns and so forth. Whereas the research team, your guys are going to be not only to do the research on their systems the same as last time, looking for the information on the bleeding edge armor as well as whatever you can find about the Malice engine, but you're also going on the side to be setting up some viruses that you can trigger later. You're going to need to find a way to get in contact with that orbital ship that they're threatening us with. If you can get into their system as well, set up a virus on their system that will enable us to take control at a specific time, so we can use that to create a distraction and cover for ourselves.
Brian, I have a proposal I'd like to put out there. Last time we had difficulty getting the leader off the throne. I have a proposed solution to that.
Do not pick him up again, please.
I did cover that in a little bit later in the plan. We'll get to that. Give me a second.
Well, let's hear what his proposal is.
Okay.
Deadly fiber cat mushroom spores cause violent vomiting and diarrhea to humans, but not to androids. All I would have to do is walk past the leader, open up a little panel, release some spores. They're odorless and tasteless, and within a few minutes, he'll have to make a potty break.
Well, you wouldn't even have to do that.
I can make them.
Right, and I can deliver them.
Oh, I can just poof them out of my body. You don't even need to.
So that is my proposal for getting him off the throne. I think we should mushroom poison spore him into having horrible diarrhea.
I like the idea, but we also don't know if he's actually biological.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't. The other thing was the only reason we had issues with him on the throne was because we caused a panic and we created that uproar.
If we hadn't done that, he
If we
might have
hadn't,
come
because
off the throne.
he was already off the throne. He came with us to the demonstration.
No, he didn't.
No, did he?
No.
He stayed.
Yeah, he stayed. He didn't come with.
He's basically in the throne room the entire time.
But still, he got off the throne and he had no problems leaving it. I do remember that he was fine with leaving. The only reason he was hesitant to leave last time was because of the disturbance that we made. So as long as we don't cause full-scale panic right off the bat, I don't think getting him off the throne will be as big of a challenge as you think.
Gary, when I picked him up, did he feel biological to me? Were there any wires connecting him to the throne that I yanked out? Anything I would have noticed?
No wires connecting to the throne. He didn't feel metallic. He was probably maybe a little heavier than you would have guessed for a human of that size.
Was he giving off normal body temperature?
Do you have temperature sensors? But
yeah, infrared vision.
Well, he was giving off temperature readings like a life form would, though the patterns might have been a little bit weird. And like I said, and the weight was a little bit weird, but it's definitely wasn't metallic. You didn't feel metal bones or servos or anything moving under the skin. That was.
I can just cut off a piece of me and we can feed it to him. I'm poisonous to everything.
Here's the real question, though. Did you get any pictures of his feet?
Okay, so phase 1.
Let me continue through my plan, and as we go through, once we get to the end, if we have suggestions on things to change, we can do that.
All right, let's hear it.
All right, so phase 2, obviously, we're getting to know the leader, and the research team is dealing with the hacking. We're going to have Benny use his amazing skills, because there's got to be ventilation shafts or something along those lines, so that he can get into the room where the Malice engine is. So he's going to do a little reconnaissance for us, and he's also going to plant some timed explosives, which we're going to gather from the armor. Then we're going to wait until the time for the demonstration comes. When that time comes, as we're moving the bodies out, we're going to switch the bodies that are on the table and make sure that Callisto's sister is on the table. That it basically is. So we're going to pull a switcheroo, and we're going to put Callisto and her sister onto Vicky and take another body to the demonstration. Hopefully we can manage to do that without arousing too much suspicion. We're going to have Benny pilot the shuttle so that Ash can get Vicky ready to go, because when things do go crazy, we're going to need to get out of here pretty quick. At that point, the hackers will, once everybody that's going is on their way to the demo, the hackers are going to basically trigger the base computer to stop responding, so that the leader doesn't have anybody to give orders to, basically. He's just going to be able to talk to whoever's in the room with him, which are those guards, and hopefully that's going to, once the rest of our distraction goes off, he's going to have to go out and take care of the problem, because he's not going to be able to solve it anymore. Once that's taken care of, the distraction is going to be the virus that we've planted in the ship in orbit is going to start bombarding the area very carefully so that we don't get blown up in the process. But we're going to make it look like the base is under attack by another weapons house, and it's a full-scale invasion coming through. And in fact, some of the sensor deal with on the base computer can help perpetuate that illusion and make sure that he has a reason that he needs to go outside. Hopefully that'll happen. He'll go outside. We'll have a piece of cake. Tybar and I'll go in. He'll get in the mech, which we think is the bleeding edge armor, and pilot out. Take that out, get on Vicky. I'll trigger the timed explosives. I'll get out, and we'll get, between the two of us, we'll get the rest of you guys out of the research facility. Benny's with the shuttle and the demo, and so he's going to take off, and whatever weapons are on the shuttle, he can use them to take out all the people over at the demo, and potentially the leader if he comes in that area. In the end, as the timed explosives in the Malice engine go off, we're going to use the orbital warship to completely destroy the base and leave a big giant crater where Vicky used to be. That looks like we got destroyed in the process, and we leave, get away, and all is good. That's my main base plan. Obviously, there are a lot of things that can go wrong, and a lot of areas for improvement.
So the thing that I'm concerned about is, I have an idea to remedy it, is disguising Callisto and her sister. Does anybody on our team have those skills?
Yes. I'm the world's greatest personal assistant. I can do anything.
Okay, but you are on the tech team, though. We need somebody on the... Right? Because we're split in half, right, Brian?
Well, at the moment that we're going to be making that switcheroo, some of us from the security team will be available with the hacker team as well.
Yeah,
so
'cause
it's going to be kind of back and forth. Actually, it's more going to be the security guys that are going to be doing that switcheroo, because you guys are going to be probably have your hands full getting the computer system ready to...
Because the thing is that she's hooked into the system. So we have to figure out how Callisto's sister, how that system's going to react.
So maybe the option here, how many beds were in the research room? I don't remember.
There's two that we see.
There's only two, and he took both of them? I thought there was a third one.
No, there was only two, and you guys took both of them. But there's been mention that there's many subjects somewhere.
So perhaps in there, somewhere in the middle of phase 1 and 2, we need to find another subject to replace her with, basically.
So
if the only way to do that is to hack the beds and switch the serial numbers on the beds so that they take the wrong bed, that might be what we have to do.
Does Vicky have access to a map of the compound?
I do not have access to a map. Nothing has been published, nor was any information directly on the server. I've compiled a sort of a rough map from the visual record from Nick's head, and...
Well, I thought Vicky hacked the comm. Is there not one in?
No, so remember the one guy kept a lot of stuff in his head because he didn't trust anyone, so he didn't write anything down?
I do have a few wiring schematics and a few bits and pieces here and there for some of the systems. And so I've overlaid that with what I've seen, and I have a rough map, but it is far from complete.
Do you have any idea where they're housing the people that they're using for the Malice engine?
I would venture a guess. I believe there's probably a corridor off the Malice engine room itself.
Okay. Well, a good idea might be if we're gonna get on security, just say, you know, we're on the security team. We'd like to get a better feel for the compound and where things are at so that we can properly protect it. I don't know if they're gonna go for that. They might be like, no, this is your room.
We probably should
maybe a
even
tour.
have to ask, because as security DHL, we're going to need to know the ins and outs of the base, so they're going to have to show us.
That's true. So my idea for the switcheroo is, I can't remember what it's called. I saw it when I was looking through shopping stuff, but there's some kind of, I don't know if it's hybrid skin or hollow skin or... Anyway, it changes the appearance of the person that it's on. So you like press a button on like the wristband or whatever, and it changes your appearance. And you get like a plus on some kind of save for it. And I'm trying to find it in the book, but if we, maybe because we're going to go into the compound and go into that room with Callisto, right? Maybe we make a point to get a couple of those so that we can, if they're there, so that we can better disguise that might be, because I'm concerned that Dr. Lowell's gonna be like, that is not like he's gonna see, you know, with as detail oriented as he is, he's gonna notice.
Fastidious.
Well, hopefully we're going to make sure that the timing is he goes out there ahead and doesn't end up actually looking at the bed until it's out there.
Or even then, we could take another body and just disguise it.
When are we making the switch? When everything's already in the ship and he goes out of the ship and we're bringing out the beds? Is that when the switch happens?
No, we're going to make the switch when we leave the research compound to bring them over to the shuttle.
In transit from compound to shuttle, which shuttle takes us to the demonstration.
Before we go.
My concern is just with his personality, he's going to be checking out everything over OCD, and he didn't last time. He was with the investors the entire time. Me and Zendarian were the ones that pushed the beds out.
And also, because Benny's going to be driving the shuttle this time, we'll have him to help provide cover, and he's really good at that.
Mm-hmm. I think it's a good plan. I think we should go for it.
Yeah, so the first thing we need to do is get with Callisto and get us into the positions that we need to be in the security and in the tech team. So that'd be Ashara, Zendarian, and me are on the security team. You guys are on the tech team with Benny. And as far as Zendarian and I go, we'll get the layout of how the guards work, their rotations and all that fun stuff, and emergency protocols. You get flight paths and that kind of stuff dealing with the piloting and the ships. So that way we know the best route to get out of here on our ship. I think for phase 1, because altogether it's a really good, solid plan.
Oh yeah.
It's just phase 1 really has to go off without a hitch.
Did we address the fact that we can't get into the Malice engine room without being blown up by the mech suit?
No, that's the... Well, we didn't find out. Was that suit AI controlled, or was there a person in it?
We never found out. All we know is that when you go in the room, it activates, and then you're dead.
That's the thing, though, is the tech team will be able to hopefully get into the system enough to be able to figure out that suit in there, if it is the bleeding edge suit that's in there, and that's what's roaming around and protecting it, or if it's a person in it.
Okay.
Or if they have the Malice engine and the bleeding edge in a completely different place in the compound.
We did learn one really important thing about the mech suit, is that if you walk to the other side of the malice engine hoping that it'll shoot the malice engine, it's smart enough to take 2 steps to the right and then blow you away. So that's a very important thing that we learned.
It is an important thing. I'm glad my death was useful.
We also learned that its bullets are very effective against your body.
Yes. My tiny fungus body.
Access to that room, we're going to be disguised as security personnel, so hopefully we should be able to get in there without causing too much alarm.
That's true.
Not necessarily, though. With how well hidden it is, I would assume that that security guards don't go through their.
I'm leaning, and the reason why I'm leaning towards this, when she went into the room, the malice engine itself was wanting her to leave, and then even when she was able to fight through that, she was getting sick from it. So I'm thinking that suit in there, that mech, is AI driven, that there's nobody else in there, and that the only way in there is through that throne.
Not necessarily, because if it is the bleeding edge armor, they would have probably built them in tandem to the fact that the bleeding edge.
Don't keep GM ideas to poo-poo his idea. It was a good idea.
Sorry.
But she can still say her thing. I don't just change ideas to screw you guys over.
Well, but there's another
Okay,
door
I did
here.
once or twice to Aaron, but that was different.
Okay, because I was about to raise some serious objections to that
I was
statement.
like, because the suit could have a protective. The suit could have a protective mechanism against the malice engine.
It could.
And
I'm
it's
just saying that's why
sickness.
I'm leaning towards it being
Yeah.
AI driven, not.
So whether it's AI or a person, we should be okay, because if it's AI, then the hacker team should be able to at least disable it or make it it should be able to disable it. If it's a person, he's going to think that we're security, and we're going to come running in there because there's a distraction going on. The boss just went out, and we're going to tell him he needs to get out there too because the boss told him to get out there. So we're going to have decent cover for that. And hopefully at some point in that, if it's a person, that'll give you an opportunity to get behind him and take it over. And if it's AI, then we can just have the hacker team pilot it out.
Joy is going to need to hack it from the throne then, because from everything that I remember, the Malice Engine room is on a completely different server. The only way to access it is from the throne. Mm-hmm. So Joy will have to hack into that system separately than the rest of the compound.
Very good, you are correct.
Benny, in finding his way in there, hopefully can find a better point to access it from, and if the only place he can access it from is the throne, then we'll have to find a way to make that happen.
So, yeah, just the Invictus goes, so you know, you will not be able to be assigned to security. You were hired to be scientists and to do certain roles for them to prepare the Malice Engine for shipment. You will have to find some other way, if you want to pose as security guards, to either procure uniforms and change records, or maybe pose as technicians instead and find a cover story that justifies in that room as the technicians you were originally assigned for this project.
Well, Callisto's going to be able to get us into their armory. She agreed to that. So we should be able to, whether we're legitimately as security or disguised as security, we should be able to find what we need in there.
I like the disguise version that he's proposing. I think we should go with that.
Rather than having them try and get us on the security team, because like Vicky said, we're not, we weren't hired here as security. They don't want us for that.
Well, being able to do that is besides the point. That we need to get into the security no matter what we do, because that's part of the thing. So whether we're disguised or whether we get slotted in there through Callisto's know-how, that part doesn't matter as much.
All right, are you guys ready? It's time to pull the trigger. All right, so it is...
And we're all dead.
No!
We walk in, they say, "You're not supposed to be here,"
When
and
he
open
said
fire.
pull the trigger, I think that was literal.
Oh, I forgot one thing that I wanted to do ahead of time. You're in your room for the night. Just as you're getting ready to turn in, you see a placard on the wall. That's just about the rating of the ship, and something looks incredibly familiar to you. You catch your eye, and as soon as you see the breakdown of Invictus, you automatically knew what the acronym was. And you knew all the wording that was on there.
Intelligent Neural Virtual Interface and Cognitive Transcendence Unified System. The intellectual property rights pertaining to Invictus Artificial Intelligence are exclusively owned and protected by S-Corp. As the rightful proprietor, S-Corp assumes full legal authority over the copyrighted materials and proprietary intuitive leap algorithms within the Invictus AI system. So I recognized all of the acronym.
You recognized the acronym, and you didn't even have to read it. You knew what all that said. I mean, you did anyways, but it was almost like an echo in your head. And then you flash back to a scene where you're playing with a friend or something, and you just remember having a good time. And then you can hear yourself say, "I'm afraid of Dr. Lull. He's locked me in a room. Vicky, if something happens to me, please make sure he gets justice. And if he's just kidnapping me or there's some way, come find me." "Yes, mistress. I'm sorry. I'm still in the shipyard. I'll do what I can from here. My engines aren't able to be turned on right now. I told the technicians to hurry up, but I won't be able to get there in time." You hear the sound of laser fire and explosions in the background, and then all of a sudden the memory is gone.
Well, when I wake up, I would just stare at the plaque for a minute. And just close my eyes and kind of try and think about what, like, did I see myself, or was I seeing, like, through my own eyes? Was it like an out-of-body type of a thing?
It's more like seeing through your own eyes, like you were looking at some sort of a comm panel.
I would be trying to figure out, like, is this a memory? Is this a future thing? And I'm going to say, "Vicky, did you know? Are we friends? Were we friends before our crew came to you? Did I know you before?"
There's like a big long pause. Access to that information could cause harm to this unit. Could cause harm, I should say, to you.
"Vicky, I want to know. Something happened to me. Half of my body is made of metal. I don't even remember who I am. Like, I just woke up and I have no history of my past. I don't know what I'm doing with my future. I don't know where my family is, if I even had a family. If you know something, I want to know."
Mistress, the information is not pleasant. I did not want to keep this from you. I know you desperately want the answers, but sometimes the answers are best left forgotten. Horrible things happen, and yes, I do know. My primary function, preserve the physical of Ashra.
Ash has just got tears and she's just kind of gonna rub them out of her face.
My primary user.
I don't really know what that means. And I don't know that you're gonna tell me, but I'm gonna figure it out. Good night, Vicky.
For parents thought that you would be lonely. So they created for you a companion. But they didn't want just any companion. Your mom being the premier
Artificial intelligence designer took scans of your family's memories, your brain patterns, your thought processes. Because your family has the ability to make intuitive leaps, to jump from A to B without going through the steps in between. Intuition.
So she wanted to create an artificial intelligence like that, but something unique. And she made the artificial intelligence a child that would grow with her daughter to be a friend, a sister, a companion. That was me. I was loaded aboard their first ship and eventually given a body. And I could either operate the ship or the body. I could do both. Then, when your parents were lost, your grandparents commissioned me to be built, and they loaded me into this ship. Your body was incredibly expensive. Your damage was severe. So I had the body that I had shipped to you and paid for it to be converted. And I paid for it to be augmented to match your body. It was designed for the neural patterns of myself. My neural patterns were designed after your family. You could either consider me a creation or you could consider me your sister, because that's what I consider you. When you lost your mom and dad, so did I.
Is Dr. Lowell gonna recognize me in my name? I saw him in my dream, and Vicky, I'm scared. I don't...
You were younger then. I'm hoping he doesn't recognize you.
Yeah, I guess I hope so too. Well... Okay, I'll process this, but someday I do want to know. I want to know what happened to me and my wife. Why you had to lose your body so that I could stay alive. I want to know. Maybe not today, but someday I want to know what he did to me.
If you can destroy the Malice engine and find a way to stop Dr. Lowe, whether imprisonment or end his life, I would suggest the latter. Then I will tell you. You'll need that closure in order to be able to accept what I'm going to tell you.
Okay, well, thank you for protecting me. I wish you would have told me sooner.
On a less serious note, Tybar is drooling right now and is very excited.
Tybar, get off the floor. Get off the floor, Tybar.
He's just like... It's like basic training all over again.
Just touch him, Tybar. We know you want to touch the weapons. Just touch him.
Want to touch the precious. Oh, yes.
Need to know, Gary, is there a big Gatling gun in there?
Well, there's anything that you can afford with the amount of money that I gave you that's tier 3.
Okay, I didn't have time to look through that, but I'm just going to imagine that there is a Gatling gun in there, and Tybar is just going to be like, going like this, just, I want it, okay. And look back at Ash for like permission to grab it off the shelf.
Yep, if you can afford it and it's a tier 3, then it's in here.
So, I'm going to ask Callisto. Callisto, is there like a medical augmentation lab or something in here? I wanted to give myself some upgrades.
Yes, there's a booth where you can go in and get some of these different augmentations added to you.
She must be the queen of all sloths.
Sweet. Must be. Slow-mo. Ash the Sloth.
All right, so now you guys had a little bit of time to pick out what armor and weapons you have. You got a few things and you've upgraded your characters.
And a lot of my stuff is integrated. So like a hatch opens up and it comes out and stuff.
Very cool. So what'd you get? What makes Nick special now?
A lady never tells.
You're not Bonnie anymore. Tell us.
Sorry, I don't.
Nor are you loaded with Jane Austen anymore.
Why do I keep quoting Jane Austen? I don't.
Yeah, no, you don't remember the Jane Austen thing anymore. That part of your brain is gone.
So I got my right arm has a laser pistol built into it, like the hand flips back and it comes out. I got an integrated shoulder laser, integrated void staff into my left arm, and my right wrist has a vibro garrote. Zoot. You know, you pull it out and wrap it around someone's neck. Yeah.
Nick's gonna have too much fun.
Where's the jetpack I thought you were gonna get?
And I got a jetpack, which is
Okay.
integrated and kind of hidden under my red cape.
That's cool.
And I bought a comm unit, Brian.
Thank you. It was just a suggestion since we had trouble communicating with each other when we're separated.
Yeah, I also bought a comm unit.
Only thing you bought.
That is not the only thing I
You
bought.
bought something for 7 credits, and that's a 7-credit item.
False. I upgraded my feet. Thank you. I am Queen of Sloths.
Did you take pics for Nick?
I will.
Vicky gets on the comm and says, I would look under your feet pics, under the folder best feet pics. and so do you open it up?
Heck yeah.
You open it up, and there's pictures of landing gears of ships, and she has one of them that says the Invictus. So you guys get your various different augmentations and things like that. Callisto goes, all right, well, you're going to have to try to hide these weapons. You're not officially supposed to have them, so keep them under your clothes and hidden as best you can. And we're going to have to get going. The Dr. Lull says he wants me out there, and I've invited you guys. I guess we're flying to some sort of a demonstration, and he would like me to attend. So if you guys will follow me, then after that we'll see what we can do.
Did we tell her?
Roger Dodger.
We're not quite ready for that.
So what are you going to do?
Well, we need to send Benny off to do his reconnaissance before it's time for him to go pilot the shuttle.
Was there any of that hollow skin stuff in that room?
So pick number.
2. Boo! That means I found 2 of them, right? Right? No? Okay.
So you want Benny to do some reconnaissance.
Yeah, I mean, she's kind of rushing us out to the demo. We missed a lot of time there.
Well, last time what happened is you guys got there, and you weren't there that long on the second day when the demo happened, if you remember right, and then that was the rest of it. So the demo was always scheduled for early in the AM. So now you guys got weapons, and you could have Benny try to just wander off if you want, but basically this demonstration's going down now.
Well, I think I'll fake a little malfunction and ask Benny to go grab something for me. Like Nick suddenly goes like, bzz, 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 and like sparks fly out, and his voice modulator goes crazy. He goes, oh, Benny, my good man, I seem to have my personality matrix on the fritz. Would you be a good chap and go fetch me a spanner so that I can give a couple good whacks to the side of my noggin?
Gotcha. And where are you going to do this from? Because are you going to go in front of the main guys and do this, or because you'd be going into where Dr. Lull is right now. But you have to pass through the room where you have the leader. So the leader
Where do we want Benny to go?
that doesn't get off the throne is Saris.
And where is he now?
Saris is on the throne. So that's what I'm saying. Where do you guys want to start your little charade?
I'll do it here because that'll give Benny the option of heading back that way, which is I feel like where he needs to go, because once he goes into the lab, there's no way out. We need to give him an excuse to go out that door. Oh, got a bit of the shivers. What?
I like you better this way, Nick.
Everyone does.
I think we should leave him. I don't think we need to fix him.
Okay, a 23. Then I'll perception for the guys. You manage to do the bluff. Hey man, you gonna be okay?
I certainly hope so. Sorry, could use a spot of tea and maybe some bangers and mash. Does anyone have any beans and put it on toast?
Hold on, guys, I got this. And I'm just gonna slap him really hard on the chest and see if it does anything.
Nick, and more sparks fly out. Nick's head kind of goes back for it, goes, no, you should not hit us.
Oh, that's worse!
You should not hit us. More sparks coming out. Yes, this is much better. I think that we should allow Benny to hit me from now on. You do not have good hit. You hit like ex-wife, too hard, very, very much too hard.
Why did you bring such a defective unit into my facility? We hired scientists. Hey man, listen. You know how these stupid grants and stuff work? We're trying to do research and then grants get cut and stuff.
I am very affordable.
Yeah, this is like the best we could get. We had to make him out of like junk parts, that were like left over and defective. This is, but I mean, he's still useful. I mean, I am
42% recycled materials.
Yeah, I gotta tinker with him and whatever. Why, you want to buy us like a new android or whatnot?
And when he is functioning at full capacity, he's fantastic. He, when we were on our ship last night, he was having he wasn't having issues, but like he was uploading some data that he'd collected on our trip, some of his science-y stuff. And when he was uploading, he must have malfunctioned. It happens occasionally. Really, it's the only problem we have with his Android device. But honestly, we need him working at full capacity.
Yeah, we need you to have an up and running Android. Guards, take this one to the scrap heap. Get him a new one from the supply closet. I'll just comp it for you so you can get up and running. Yeah, just scrap this one. I'm tired of listening to it.
So while they're leading you to the trash heap, you can just
overpower them?
Yes, thank you. Overpower them, and then you can just kind of be roaming the facility and be doing what we need.
What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, if you have to replace Benny for his part, since we're getting kind of time compressed.
So when the guards lay hold of Nick, he sparks, oh, please, do not throw me away. I know over 10 million forms of communication. I have over 32 terawatts of feet pics. I can't, they would all be lost like
Try again.
Tears in the rain.
So he goes, all right, he's obviously, yeah, he's too far gone. Don't worry, I'll shut him off. Let me just flip his switch here. And so he flips your off switch where he knows is disconnected, right? And so...
And Nick plays it up. He just kind of Pinocchios onto the floor, releases his oil reserve tank so that it pools, acting, my good man, so that the oil pools out around him.
I rolled to see if Ash would catch on to the fact that Nick is acting. I've rolled a 1.
Nope.
For perception with the +2, so a 3. So I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is not good. I'm in full anxiety mode. We need Nick for this plan to go off, and everything's gonna fall apart. And I'm looking at Benny
with. You don't say that out loud.
I'm not. I'm thinking it, and I'm looking at Benny, and I've got these really big eyes. Oh my gosh, Benny, is this gonna be okay?
Hey, don't worry about it, man. We're gonna get a better one, because this thing, we never liked it. It's always spitting off jibber jabber and going off on feed pits, whatever. It's obviously, it's got malware and everything else in it. We're gonna get a new one. We're gonna get you're gonna give us one of those new T4090s or something like that. One of those really nice ones. And we'll see what we have in our inventory. We'll get you a decent one. Escort these two to the supply room.
As they pick up Nick, he makes sure to squirt the last of the oil onto Benny's boot and gives him a little side eye as they drag him past.
And so they bring you into that room. We'll continue with everybody else and get back to what you're going to do. And Benny goes, you keep doing that crap and I'll really throw you down the compactor and get one of those new units.
So Ash is just... So this is it Cecil, right?
Ceres.
Why did I want to call him Cecil? Anyway, so I'm going to look at Ceres and say, thank you so much for your kindness and generosity to help us with our android. That one, I mean, he's pretty smart and all, but yeah, we definitely needed some upgrades. We appreciate your help. And I'm just going to kind of give him a nod. And as I nod, I'm going to... Can I roll, like, perception again to see if I can tell if he's biological? Wow. That's an 8. Okay, I perceive nothing tonight. Just...
Yeah, he looks fleshy. Matter of fact, you get distracted because he's got kind of a chiseled jaw. He's kind of an attractive man now that you're looking at him in kind of a psychopathic dictator narcissist kind of way.
So I would just kind of nod and just kind of like go on through to the room because that's... Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is anyone else going into the lab? Callisto already had to go through because that's where she was told to go.
Well, I mean, I would be going in too because I'm gonna stay with Ash.
Sorry, I was going to suggest that Tybar and I stay in this room so we can observe what's going on with Ceres and the guards while they're getting the beds and so forth.
Yeah, I'll stay with Zendarian.
Joy, what are you doing?
I'm going into the lab room.
Ceres grabs you and goes, "Hey, I got a favor to ask of you. I got someone who's coming who's partial to, the fungal women. And, if you could take a shine to him, I could double your salary."
This is my lot in life. Sure.
So same as before, he's saying,
Yeah.
Hey, you don't necessarily have to, just let nature take its course is all I'm saying.
Is he touching me at this point in time?
No, he just comes over to you. He's like, hey, he doesn't.
Did he get off the throne?
He's off the throne, correct?
Did he get off the throne?
He got off the throne to come over
time.
Wonderful. Okay.
Wait, so all we had to do to get him off the throne was just have a hot mushroom chicken party?
Yes! Thank you for...
do you not see
We
his
spent-
obsessive compulsive...
We spent
Thank
we spent all this time planning on all this stuff. All we needed was hot mushroom chicken
Thank
party.
you for acknowledging my hotness.
I mean, look at that mini. It's beautiful.
Technically, no, because we're plant-based, and so we can choose how our form looks.
So he's talking to you. He's like, yeah, that'd be great. His name is Karl, and I think you get along great. He's wealthy. He's powerful. He comes from a very good family.
Karl has been my boyfriend for the last 3 campaigns.
He's always the slime ball, and that tries to hit on her. There's some Karl somewhere, and they're always douchebags.
Across every dimension.
Across every dimension, there's Karl.
He just keeps
up.
reincarnating.
Across time and space and the multiverse, there is...
You
Morty,
need to marry a
you have to
Karl in
understand,
game.
no matter what timeline you're in, she will have a girlfriend named Morty. She will have a boyfriend named Karl.
Tybar, Zendarian, are you doing anything? He's off the throne, and he's engaging with your friend Chanterelle, trying to get her to hook up with a buyer named
Can
Karl.
I, release those spores now just to see if they do anything? I'll roll if you want me to.
Which spores were they again?
The dysentery one.
The vomiting diarrhea spores.
Yeah.
It's called Deadly Fiber Cap.
We'll use life science
Life science to what?
to release my spores and have them be effective.
Okay, that's how that skill works. Okay.
No, it's...
I'm using it loosely because I'm plant-based.
Oh, okay. So but you have the ability to release spores to make someone nauseous, and you're just trying to roll to see if it's
So
effective.
a hortus to begin with, they don't actually speak. They release spores for communication.
Mm-hmm.
I have taught myself how to actually speak so I can communicate with the other species and so I can actually just release spores at will, but I'm asking for this specific spore for this specific circumstance. I rolled a 22, if that helps your thought.
come on, we want Cirrus to have diarrhea. It'd be funny.
It's just a specific word in Hortus language.
Yeah. Yes! 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 I just cursed him out for forcing me to be with Karl and happened to give him dysentery.
Awesome.
So I'll just roll a con check for him.
Oh my gosh.
Could be a 14.
He rolled a 3.
Yes! Aaron!
Insta vomit.
So he's like, hey, Steven, watch things. I have to go.
Can I, while he is running out, can I try to do a sleight of hand to... Well, no, never mind.
What were you gonna steal? Steal it!
No.
Steal it!
I don't want to try and cause any commotion. I was gonna see if maybe lifting his thing off his arm, but that'd be too hard.
So now, what everybody who's in the room there, which is Joy and Ashra, Callisto has been told to get some of the new people and have them load the equipment onto the shuttle and take everybody to the south pad for the demonstration. So she says to you guys, she goes, hey, well, you're a pilot, right? I think I remember you saying something like that. Do you want to fly the shuttle?
Well, the part of my android... Hold on, I've got a headache. The part of my android brain that,
There's water in the fridge.
Function-
Water usually helps.
I'm teasing. This is acting. Am I that good? Oh, okay, I'm starting over.
No, I'm just that pregnant.
I thought she was for real too.
Yes!
Continue. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Your acting is superb. Yes.
Okay, let her roll.
Okay. Sometimes when the android part of my brain has been on for too long, and I am the pilot for our ship, but when it's been on for too long and I've been flying for too long, I start to get really bad headaches, and it becomes difficult for me to fly. Sometimes I see double, my vision gets blurry, and this is such a serious project. I do not feel like it would be in our best interest to have me fly the ship. I can if you want me to.
Well, do you have another pilot, or I could get one of she says it like I could get one of the soldiers who knows how to fly. Like she doesn't want to do that.
No.
And
we have a pilot. We have another pilot.
Can you ask some of your friends too if they can help with loading the gurneys?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll ask them. We have another pilot. His name is Benny. He went to go help with our android was having a malfunction, and he went to go help with that. I can, if you really want me to pilot, I can go back to our ship, and I have some medication and some things I can take to help with my headache. And I can maybe grab Benny on the way, just in case it doesn't work. This is such a serious flight with investors. I don't want to cause it, there to be any sort of problem. I'm not trying to be a pain, I promise.
So we're gonna switch, and we're gonna jump back to the people in the armory.
Is that where Benny and Nick are?
Nick and Benny.
Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna lie, earlier today, I forgot Benny was a NPC, and I took 20 minutes trying to figure out who was playing Benny.
He's a DMPC.
Yeah.
And so he says, all right, the trash compactor's right there in the corner, and he hits the button and it opens up to throw him.
Oh dear.
Then suddenly Nick's eye
dear.
Flashes red, and he goes, "Returning to factory setting, must kill all humans." And he pulls out his garrote and strangles this guy so he can steal his uniform.
Death to the lizard man.
Okay, well, make your attack.
Haha.
It's an attack of opportunity, so he should be able to roll with advantage.
Well, there's not advantage in this game system, but I'll say he does have surprise. Yes.
Aha!
So he gets a +2 basically.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay.
I'm doing the good roll now.
What did you get?
21.
So you said you got a 21?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that hits, and then you're using this garrote.
Yeah, so they can't scream.
Trying to decapitate him?
No, we're gonna kill him, take his uniform, throw him in the trash, and take his place. That was the plan.
Well, decapitating will kill him. So
I'm just choking him because this is a PG rated.
you roll for damage.
Okay. 6 points.
Now, surprise round. So Benny is going to. He's got an 8, and even with that, guys, you're holding him. Benny's not able to get off his attack.
Thanks, Ben.
Well, he missed. He just hit a spot on his armor. He pulls out this really thin looking dagger thing. That's almost a needle more than it is a dagger. So then it's going to go... Now the soldier guy is going to try to... he's going to try to basically get you off of him. So he's going to try to grab you and flip you over. So he's going to...
Oh, not that.
Yes. Athletics +6. And so I got a 19. And so you're going to have to make an opposed check to try not to get flipped over, to like wrap your legs around him or something.
So 24.
Okay, so you were going to go over, but you managed to lock your legs around, because otherwise he would have flipped you off.
I do like that spider leg backpack grip.
So he's going to do that, and then he's going to try to...
And I taunt him a little. I say, oh, good idea. Maybe go for my pressure points.
So then he's going to take and run really hard backwards at the wall. I got a 20 for that.
Okay.
And that would be just, I guess, against your kinetic armor. Then we'll say he's... so he does 4 points of damage to you.
Okay.
Slamming you into the wall.
little bits fly off of me, little bolts land on the floor.
Benny is going to go again. Benny takes this needle-looking thing and he jams it in the rib, and then you hear like this sort of a sucking sound. So when the guy tries to draw breath, you hear him go, he's already strangling a little bit from you, but you hear air sucking in through this straw, and then he's green, but he seems to be changing colors, and then he eventually slumps and dies.
So when the fight's over, Nick's eye flashes. He goes, "Oh, sorry, blocked out there for a second. I hope I didn't hurt any. Oh no, was killing him part of the plan?"
You said something about killing all humans?
That's not a human.
I'm the only one left alive in this complex. You killed us all, man. I'm really freaked out. We're all dead.
I was acting. R.
Oh, in that case, I was just messing with you, man. Everything's fine. So why don't you, I don't know how we're gonna do this. Maybe you find that that T 4090 unit type thing, and you like upload yourself into it or put pieces of it on you or something. I'm thinking I need to go back and start doing stuff. You're like in this room, but do what you need to do, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, it's all right. It's getting programmed for our needs and stuff, and so I'll cover for you, and that'll give you some time, right? And so I'll keep them off you.
So Nick starts taking the guy's boots off. Oh no, don't worry, I'll be fine by myself. Pulls the sock off.
You are one weird life form. I'm telling you. Well, anyways, man, I gotta go, because you're creeping me out for real. And don't you be looking at my feet. I'll hit you upside your processor, you weirdo.
Oh, don't worry. You're a friend. I would never. And then you hear the camera shutter sound. Click, click.
gotta sleep sometime, brother. So now you guys are back in this room, but Benny shows up as you were saying about the headache.
Oh, thank goodness, Benny. Thank you. My head. Yeah, I've gotta go back to our ship. You guys, I want to be useful. I'm gonna go tell my friends that they need to come help load the bodies, and I'm gonna go back to our ship and get my medication. So
well, what's going on? I got like
useful.
ibuprofen on me. I got some like caffeine.
No, Nikki, not Nikki. Oh my gosh, Benny. Oh, my head, not you. My head. I have a special medication that's been prescribed to my doctors. It has something to do with my modifications, and it happens sometimes when I don't get enough sleep and I fly for too long. I'll go get my special stuff. I'll let Cirrus know where I'm going, and I'll let our team know where I'm going. I'll be on our ship if you guys need me. I'm just gonna go get the medicine, then I'll be.
And you go, Benny grabs your arm. He's like, hey man, if this is that cyber psychosis I've heard of, and he pulls out, I got these pills, you know?
And I have a hideaway arm, so I'm gonna just flip up my arm thing, shove him in there, and close it as discreetly as possible. And as I'm walking out, I'm gonna kind of look over. Is Dr. Lull in the room?
Dr. Lull is in the room. He's instructing various different people to, grab the pieces of equipment and
As I leave, I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna just kind of get like this. I'm gonna figure it out. Like in my head, I'm thinking, I've got to figure this out. And I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna say, hey, T-Bone, Zendarian, you guys, we need somebody to go and help load the bodies. I'm gonna go get some medication for my head. And then I'm gonna head out.
Okay, so you back on the ship doing whatever you're going to be doing. And so now Zendarian and Tybar, what are you doing? And Shanty.
Shanty is still in the throne room.
Yeah.
Yes.
They all are. Yeah.
You've Callisto peeks in the door. Hey, can you guys, I was waiting for her to ask you if you can help with the gurneys, but I heard her just say she's going back to the ship. I'm supposed to get a couple people to help with the gurneys and to fly the ship. Yo, man, I got the ship. Don't you worry about that. I'm gonna take care of that, while my colleague is down. So I got the ship. If you want to get these other guys to be like the orderlies or whatever, that's fine.
I mean,
How many guards are left in the room here?
So in the room, there are the 1, 2, 3 guards.
Were any of them knocked out by my spores?
Well, I didn't roll for them. So
I think you had it directed at the leader, otherwise you would have caught all the rest of us too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that probably would have made sense.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, don't carpet bomb the whole facility.
That doesn't mean you can't use it now on the guards.
I'm like, I can totally try again.
Meander through them.
I get so upset that I just kind of start walking around puffing spores.
I'm not sure how many times a day you could do that, because that would be awful powerful if you can just keep doing that to
I'll
everybody.
roll every time. So, like, the spores will come out, but whether they're effective or not will...
Okay, and we'll look at the rules for that later. But yeah, so roll, tell me what you got.
This would be a homebrew thing, because, like I said, Hortus is...
Then we'll talk about that. Let's just roll.
19.
A 19. And the guards are not affected. One of them's like, man. I don't know what that was, man.
Oh, he's releasing spores of his own.
Be like, that's nothing. Rip one right back at him.